Once again, I welcome you to the mobile development course. And in this course, we are still focusing on Android. And right now, we are going to look at how to put images into our application. Because in the previous lessons, we looked at how to add text. We looked at how to format text, the size, the color. So now we are going to aim at how to add images to our applications. And the first image that someone will always think about when it comes to an application is the launcher icon. That's the small image you see that represents an application when it comes to, like when you open your device's launcher. So we're going to look at how to add a launcher icon to an application. And then after, we're going to also to look at how to add images, to design them, and to locate them on our launchers and in our activity. So let us get started. So when you look right here, you will realize that I have my Android Studio already open, and I'm working in a project called Image Assets. In this project, I have a bit of text right here in a small text view, and it is wrapped in a scroll view, just like we did some recent project on this. So I have a very long text right here, and it is in a scroll view, and right here in the preview we can see how it is going to behave on our mobile device. So we can scroll, and you see we are here, we are closing our scroll view, and we are closing our layout. And today I'm also working in the relative layout. So now we're going to add a launcher icon. So this means that you have to be having this icon downloaded onto your computer. You can download it as a separate image, or you can be with it from a flash disk or any other disk that you want to use. But right here I have them on my desktop. So when I minimize my Android, I have a folder right here named images. So when I open my images folder, you can see that I have different image files right here stored, and I'm going to choose just one of these to work as our launcher icon. So let us say that we are going to use icon 6, and it is a JPG file. So yes, I'm calling it JPG because of that file extension .jpg. So I'm going to go back to my Android Studio. So when I go back to my Android Studio, I'll go to my application tree, then I'll right click. After right clicking, I'll go to new. So I'll follow and go to the new menu, and I'm going to go down until I see image asset. So I'll choose that image asset. Yes, and so it is going to take me to a different window that I'm going to choose my asset from. So right here it is named as IC launcher. It is foreground, so I'll tap on image right here. So when I click on image, I'll come here on the path to specify the image that I want to work as my icon. So I will click on these dots, and even there is an option of pressing shift plus enter. So I'll enter. So right here I have my whole hard disk in this tree. So you can see that I have all the disks right here. So I'll start to navigate to look for where I stored mine. So if I want to go to my desktop right away, I will press Ctrl plus D, and that will drop me to my desktop. And from there I'm going to look for a folder named images, just like I named it. I'll expand it, and I'll scroll until I get the image that I want. So there are very many images right here, but we said we are going to take icon 6. So I click on in it, then I'll say okay. So it is displayed right here, and when it is displayed, I can come and edit it the way I want it to be. This is by resizing it, and I want it to look like at least this one. So after that, I'll say next. So I will have the different versions of the same thing. So when I click here, these are all images, the same image, but in different sizes. So I will just say finish after inputting my image. And so that is done. So when I run this application on the physical device and I say OK, so it will start running, and right here, when you look at here, we can already see that we have our icon already displayed in the application. So let us see if this is how it is going to also behave on the physical devices launcher. And if it behaves that way, then we shall know that we can add a launcher icon to an application. Then after that, we are also going to put an image inside the application. And this is done maybe to brand the application, to design, maybe to give more illustrations in the applications. If it is a business site, it can be done to advertise, among other things. We still have our text, and it is wrapped in the scroll view. So when I tap the home button of the device and go to the menu, then I swipe to look for the application named Image Assets, you will find that it is having the same launcher icon that we chose. So when I click on it, it will take me to the application. So that is how we add a launcher icon to our applications. So now that we've added the launcher icon, let us now add an image in the application. So to add an image, as we did with the text, we are going to first open the tags, and when I open the tags, I will come and choose ImageView right here. So when I choose ImageView, it will give me the default width to be wrap content, and it will give me the default height to be wrap content. But you typically don't want to do this because images come in different sizes. So, but I want to be specific, and let us give it 150 device independent pixels, and we give our height the same 150 device independent pixels. So you can see right here, we can see how our image is going to behave on the screen. From here right up to here, 150 and 150, the same here, so it's something like a square. So I want to try to align it the way I may want it in the different ways that we can afford for now. So I'm going to first use an attribute align parent top, and by saying align or by typing AL, you shall see the different aligns available here. So I will choose my align parent top, and I will make this true. So this means that I am making my image the first thing that should appear on top of the activity. So then also I can put another attribute, like let us say center. Yes, when I type center, then I have center vertical, and center vertical means it's going to align my application in the middle of the upper point and the lower point. So that means that my application may be aligned around here. Sorry, my image. So the other option is center in parent. Center in parent means because the parent we have is the relative layout, so it will center it both vertically and horizontally. So it may be centered around here. And when I choose center horizontal, it is going to align my application in the middle of the left and right corners. So I'll choose center horizontal, and I'm going to make this true, and you see my application is moving in the middle of the left and the right. So now remember, we've not yet imported an image inside here, but we're trying to give it attributes. So now that we have given it some attributes, maybe we can also give it some margin. Maybe we say, yes, this error is coming from the quotes that were not closed. So let us give it the margin and say the margin bottom, that is the space after the image. So we shall give it like 10 device independent pixels. So after that, it's time to bring an image inside our application. So I can go to my images folder right here, and when I go to my images folder, I have to choose the image that I want to display in my application. And for this case, I'm going to take this image right here named D2, and it is a .jpg file. So I'll click on it and copy it to the clipboard. Right click, come and say copy. So it is copied to the clipboard. So I go back to my Android Studio, go to the apps tree, expand apps, go to resources, expand resources, then drawables, right click on drawables and click paste. So right here, I'll just choose the destination where I want to put it, and it is that one in the drawables. So I'll click OK, and then the pic that I'm copying is D2, so I'll click yes, OK. And when I expand my drawables folder, you will realize that I have an image named D2 there. So when I try to open it, you realize that it is the same pic that we have chosen from the other side. So I'll close this now. So now we have our image inside Android Studio, so we can use it in the application. You cannot use an image that is not yet in the application. So you have to bring as many images you have to bring very many images inside your Android Studio, provided that you're going to need them and use them. So if I want to use 20 pictures in my application, I will import them first in my drawables folder so that I can use them. So if I don't bring them, there's no way I can use them if they are outside the development environment. So now that we know that, we are good to go. I'll expand this. So let us come here and now bring the image into the application. So to do that, to bring it to this specific activity, I will use the source attributes. And the source, we just use src. So that is Android colony src. So when I tap on it, it is going to bring different things right here. Yes, in the folder of map, it is also found in the resources folder. Then we have drawable. So I'm going to use Shift 2, that is at, and I'll type the word drawable, and right here I can see my image that I want to display in the application. So I'll click on it and press enter. So when I press enter, right here in the preview, we can see that we have our image already there. If this is not so clear for you, you can go to the design, and here you can see it very well. So we have words and an image on top, but you will not like this. You don't want your image to be on top of your words, because this is not some good design. So what you're going to do is, we want to pull our words down in that our image can be separate and there shouldn't be any overlaying of anything. So what we do is, we shall go back to our text where we are doing our writing from, and when you get here, we can see that we have a scroll view right here, and then our image asset is closing here, so I'll put some space. Then inside here, let us give it an ID. An ID is just a unique identifier of the image. In case I have like 6 images, they cannot have the same ID. So that means that if I give it an ID, every time I'm referring to that ID, then I'm talking about that picture. Like, I mean, every time I use that ID, then I'm referring to that specific image. So let us give it an ID just by typing ID and press enter. We shall have add plus ID, means I'm adding my ID. So then let us give it the ID as our image number 1. So that means that we have now our image has an ID. So everywhere I'm going to use image 1, I'm talking about the specific image named D2. So let me go to my scroll view. When I go to my scroll view, I'm going to say below, try to type the word below, and when I type the word below, I will have a suggestion by the Android Studio that says Android colony layout below. So when I enter, I'm allowed to add the ID. So this means that I want my scroll view to be below any ID that I'm going to give here. And in this case, I want my scroll view to start from where my image is ending, in that they don't overlay or they don't override anything. So I'll click to add in the ID, because I told you when we say add plus ID, we're adding an ID. So, and I say image 1. So it is already suggested. I say yes. So right here in the preview, we can see that our text is now going down, leaving our image. And we have a space right here, simply because we said that we need a bottom margin of 10 device independent pixels. This one. So we're going to run this application and we see how it is going to behave on our mobile device. So I will come and say run, and I say run. My device is already connected, so I'll just say okay, and it will start running. So I can decide to have images only, I can decide to have texts only. So it depends on the way you want your application to look. So it is always advisable you design your application on paper, and then when you come to the Android Studio to design, you already have your design in mind. So now that we have added one image, so the activity is launched on the phone, and I'll go back to my visor. Oh yes, right here. Yes, this is great. And you realize that we can see everything that we have put here. The text is in, and when I scroll it, it can move. So that means that my scroll view is working perfectly. And then we can see the image. We have the space right here, and then this one is aligned bottom of our image, that just because of the other layout below attributes that we gave to our scroll view. So this is how to add an image into your application. As I told you before, you can add very many images, and when you're practicing, try to add 10, 20. Try to make different activities having images, and then in the next lesson we shall learn something new that you can add in your application. Thank you so much.